Right, guys, Man City have just beaten Borussia Dortmund by 2 goals to 1. And it was a game which was quite slow in the first half, not many chances for either team. There was only one shot on target, and that was a very tame effort from Anthony Modeste, which was easy for Ederson to save. Yes, City really struggled to create anything. Dortmund were doing a brilliant job at defending. All of their midfields were working really well in pressing down all of Man City's midfielders to stop them even getting to the defence to cause problems, and that was a midfield trio. Well, I guess you could say quad, including Marco Reus as well, of Emre Can, Jude Bellingham, and Sally Ozcan, who all did really well. All three worked really hard throughout the game. And yeah, Dortmund managed to get a goal in the second half through Jude Bellingham. It was a really well created goal by Marco Reus. Really cute ball for Bellingham just to sort of deflect past Ederson, who if Bellingham got any sort of touch on it, Ederson's in trouble. It was one of them where there's nothing really he can really do about it. It was just really well taken. Royce had a really good chance himself moments before that, which he probably should have scored. He did really well to get into the position to score. Did phenomenally well to get the ball past Manuel Akanji, but he had to place the shot into the corner. He had to be more precise than he was. But yeah, then Dortmund was continuing to look comfortable. City were obviously going to up the pressure. They made a few changes in bringing on Julian Alvarez, Phil Foden, and who else did they bring on? Oh yeah, Bernardo Silva, who obviously are going to make a difference coming on for Grealish, Mahrez, and Gundogan. And it was still looking quite good for Dortmund. They made a change themselves, bringing on Daniel Marlin just to add a bit more pace on the counter attack, just to keep City's defence occupied. And yeah, but the problem was they made the change with about 15 minutes to go of bringing on Nico Schlotterbeck, who is a player I quite like actually. He's a good defender, but also bringing off Modeste, I think it was. So that meant Daniel Marlin was a lone striker, so it didn't really give them much of a target man, someone to hold the ball up, which Modeste gave them. So that was one problem. But the other problem was they then went to three at the back, which isn't a great tactic against Man City, unless you're going to be doing it for literally stoppage time. You don't want to be doing that sub with 10-15 minutes to go when City can just up the pressure as much as possible, because they will force the ball into the net eventually. So that wasn't a great idea from the Dortmund manager. And yeah, the goal didn't actually come from a well-worked move or anything. It was just an absolute thunderbolt from John Stones, and he is capable every now and again of striking a ball like that. He can hit them. He does have 5 goals in the Champions League throughout his time at Man City now, which is quite a good return considering he is a centre-back and he hasn't always been first choice for Man City. But absolutely brilliant strike, not too dissimilar to Vincent Kompany's against Leicester 3 or 4 years ago. I wouldn't put it on the same level as Kompany's. Kompany's was ridiculous the way he sliced it to get it to curl right into the top corner. It was superb. This was a great strike, lots of power, but at the same time, it wasn't right in the corner. So I think Meyer, the goalkeeper for Dortmund, you're looking at him a little bit thinking, you got to react a little bit, because he barely even moved. You've got to somewhat go for it. Even if you don't get there and you get a hand and it's not enough, it still goes in. But you still got to go for it at least. It wasn't great goalkeeping at all. And yeah, from then on, there was a sequence where about 30 seconds before Haaland got the winner, I said it's all set up for Haaland to get the winner here. And no word of a lie, 5 seconds later, Robbie Savage says the exact same sentence as I said, to the word. And then 20 seconds after that, Chad Cancelo whips in a ball with the outside of his boot, with the outside of his boot. You know, trademark Cancelo cross. He's superb at that type of ball, and Erling Haaland like just throws himself at it, sticks his left leg in the air. He does this every now and again. I've seen him do it a few times where the ball's coming over his left shoulder, sort of from the left hand side, and he's left footed, obviously, Haaland, and he'll stick out a left leg, so it's going away from the ball, so it's sort of coming from behind him slightly, and then he'll try and hook it back alongside, like into the goal, hopefully for him. And I've seen him do it a few times, but it hasn't come off for him. But tonight it did, and it was absolutely superb finish when it does come off. I wouldn't say it's the most clinical technique to use ever. I think if he did go with his right foot occasionally, he'd probably get a bit more success. But yeah, if that works for him, then so be it. Yeah, it was a stunning goal. And yeah, by that point, though, there was no way Dortmund were coming back into the game. They used all their energy, and they made substitutions which blatantly said we're shutting up shop here. So yeah, they were never going to find their way back into the game with 5-10 minutes to go after that Haaland goal. But yeah, there are some tactical points we do need to talk about. The first one I want to mention is Grealish and Mahrez playing together. First of all, Grealish, we all know, isn't the same player for Man City that he was for Aston Villa. He's just not as effective. The playing style doesn't suit him. It's not worked out really so far. I'm not saying it won't, but I can't see it working out as well as it might have done like another club, and especially with playing on the opposite wing to Riyad Mahrez, because they're two players who have similar playing styles. I know Riyad Mahrez is more he doesn't come as deep as Grealish. Mahrez prefers to be at the byline or on the right on like the corner of the box, or even by like the touchline. Whereas Grealish, he prefers to pick the ball up just inside the attacking half and then try and take on a man. Whereas Mahrez, it's a lot more, can I beat one man and then get a shot off? Whereas Grealish, it's more deeper with Grealish. And when those two are playing together for City, it almost feels like they haven't got that player who's going to jink in and out like Bernardo Silva does and Phil Foden, and also Julian Alvarez has done since he's joined City. So, and also with Ilkay Gundogan in midfield, it just felt like there was no one who was going to make, no one who was going to just like weave in and out of Dortmund's players and cause them problems, make them make fouls, which are going to lead to set pieces and dangerous opportunities for Man City. So I thought that was part of the problem. I'd imagine Pep Guardiola's noticed this, but if he has, I can't understand why he'd go with it. You'd think you'd want one player at all times who's, low centre of gravity, you can just weave in and out. But yeah, Guardiola does make some odd decisions every now and again, I guess. And I think that was why a lot of the time in the first half, especially tonight, Man City had control of possession quite a bit, but they just couldn't really do much with it. That's why Haaland was so quiet, because he wasn't getting the service. It was the only player who looked like creating anything was Kevin De Bruyne. And when the opposition players know that your opposition, the opposition team has only got one player who is likely to cause you many problems, then it's quite easy to just take them out of the game, and then you've got the rest of the team to focus on Grealish, Mahrez, Haaland and Gundogan, and that's not too difficult because they are man-markable players. Well, Haaland maybe not, but if you stop the service into him, then yeah, you can do that. So that was where Dortmund's success came from in the first hour and a quarter of the game. But then as soon as City made the subs, Dortmund was still coping, But then when Dortmund made sub bringing on an extra defender, that just allowed the pressure to be cranked up by Man City, and that's where the game was lost, I personally believe. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.